been a long time coming, but I'm free. No more chains holding me. I got up out that dark place. Stop worrying about what everybody else say, 'cause they don't know my story, can't see my pain. If they did, then they would love me just the same. I shine, you shine, we shine together. That's how it was meant to be. No shade, it's all love.
Hey, my loves. Welcome back to Christian Girls in the City podcast. I'm your host, Latoya Deshawn. As promised, as promoted, I have some very, very special guests on tonight. And I know I'm even recording on a new night. I know usually Mondays are our nights, but I have a special guest on a special night, and I'm super excited about this. I have my very special guest, Terry and Tory Smith, the power couple that met, dated, and married within a month. Yes, I said a month. Yes, look at God. A month. And 7 years later, they are sharing their story, and it has gone viral. Tory and Teri Smith aren't your average married couple. Many husbands and wives share a hobby or two here and there, or enjoy bonding over dinner and a glass of wine. However, the Smiths have taken marital bonding to another level. Tory and Teri have been in practice since 2016 and are national board certified marriage and relationship counselors who specialize in individual, couples, and family therapy. Their practice, I Forever Will Christian Marriage Counseling, areas of expertise on infidelity, intimacy therapy, anxiety, communication, depression, and trauma therapy. Their therapeutic approach is to provide support and counseling to help their clients effectively address personal and life challenges. They offer a highly personalized approach tailored to each client. In addition to the love that they share for one another, they also share a passion for helping others. After years of counseling clients, Tory and Teri were led to provide an entertainment format to reach more individuals and couples via radio and TV mediums. The award-winning show, Love in Black with Tory and Teri, is Houston's hottest marriage and relationship radio talk show. Since 2018, the shows have focused on in-depth discussions of positive love, dating, and relationship topics. The Black in Love in Black in a financial metaphor meaning to keep your love in the positive. Their show is aired on Praise Houston 92.1 FM and 102.1 HD2 in Houston, Texas, which is part of a Radio 1, and according to August 2021, Nielsen's ratings currently hosts the highest number show ratings for Saturday broadcasting, as well as the longest listener retention for Saturday shows on Praise Houston, meaning that listeners tune in through the duration of the entire show. So I'm here to let you know this is going to be a great show. They're going to keep our attention, and their love story is so inspirational. I have been following it. I've been listening in when I had the moments too. It was hard. I had to find it on the internet, but I'm just blown away by their story. I'm blown away by how they're taking the kingdom by force, and they are building one couple at a time. And it's so inspiring to a single woman like myself who is in waiting and patiently waiting. But to hear a story where God can do so much in just 30 days, I'm going to just say less. So I'm going to go and bring them in. I'm so excited, guys.
Hey.
Hi. Welcome to Christian Girls in the City podcast. Everybody's waiting, so we might as well just jump right in. I want to know. I mean, I got the bio and I read a little, but how did you guys meet? But before you answer that, please introduce yourself. Go ahead.
My name is Tory Smith. I am half of this dynamic duo, as people call us, and I am a relationship and marriage therapist as well as a media personality. So we like to say that we are counselors by day and media personalities by night.
And I am his partner. I am his wife, his everything, his Proverb 31. I am Mrs. Terry Smith, Mrs. Tory Smith.
Welcome. It is a pleasure meeting you both. Your love story is so inspiring. It's so encouraging, especially in the culture that we're in today where marriage really isn't something that a lot of people are striving for or even staying in as much. So to hear such a story like this where you met in a month, you dated in a month, you courted in a month, you married in a month, it had to all be God. I know it had to all be God. So can you guys please share your story?
Well, we are progressive in that sense, as you can see. And we met on the Alps of the Swiss mountains skiing. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
No, we literally met on Facebook. So for those of you guys that are on Facebook and looking for someone, we don't really suggest you guys do it, but if it's in the cards for you or anything like that, definitely, if you meet that special person, develop a relationship with them, and you never know what may happen.
Mm-hmm. I say pray on everything. Always pray on everything.
Exactly.
God lead you.
So I guess it started for me. I was I was about a couple years divorced and just dating, trying to find that right woman, and wasn't able to. And then I just kind of resigned myself to the fact, like my wife just said about praying on everything. I mean, I just prayed to God, and I was like, look, I'm trying to, do this thing the right way and all, and looking for, Proverb 31 woman, like my wife mentioned a few moments ago. And that's what I was seeking, and I wasn't finding it at all. And one morning, just, kind of give you the Reader's Digest version. One morning, I was in Maryland. I used to live in Maryland at the time, and was it 5 o'clock in the morning? I kept hearing my email going off. It was dinging, throughout the night, and I'm going, "What is, who's trying to reach me?" And I woke up, and I'm looking, and it says, Terry liked your picture. And then, but it kept going. It was like several of them. She liked your picture. I was like, who's this Terry?
You were like, who's this Terry?
Yeah, I didn't, know that. Anyway, so when I had gone onto Facebook to see who she was, we had befriended each other a while back, but we never had any interaction whatsoever. Wow. But what was ironic was that when we first became friends, something in my spirit just said, that's her. And, so when I saw who it was, again, I mean, I didn't even have to think about it. It was just like, that's her, and now I'm up. I'm up. Right. And I turned into this detective because I go to her Facebook page and can't really find any information out about her or anything. And I'm like,
for that reason, that's exactly why.
looking at this woman who's been swiping all night.
Oh no! Don't do me like that. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. You came for me first. But the cute thing was, as my husband stated, prior to that, I was dating and I was done. Because it just wasn't it. And so, wanting to do things the right way. And the interesting thing is, I, had broken off, the person I was dating with about a week before. And it was my birthday. And I was just done. And so I was in my closet getting ready for work. And I just broke down crying. And I said, God, I have tried. I'm done. And if you want to come down in sandals yourself, you're going to have to, because I'm done. In other words, you'll have to pick them. And I know that was very disrespectful at the time, but I had conversations with God that were very, very real and raw. And that's the relationship I have with him. I think he wants us and, urges us to come to him
Absolutely.
sincerely, 100. So when I said that, I also called out, because it was such an intimate conversation with God, I started to call out family members who had gone on to heaven. And I'm like, me. I'm a good person. Like, I'm done. I've tried, I'm done. And I'm good with it, because sometimes it just doesn't happen. And so then that night, I think it was that night, because God usually gets back to me like within 24, 48 hours. Kind of got that thing, And
You
so,
got a good rapport, huh?
yeah.
All
And so,
right.
I mean, one way or the other, he always gets back to me to let me know, I heard you. So that night I was in bed, and I'll never forget, hair in a high ponytail, a white wife beater, and some Raider shorts, because I love Oakland Raiders. It was Victoria's Secret Raider shorts with the
Oh, get to
letters
the good part.
And so, anyway, with that being said, I was going to bed, and I was looking at my phone, and I saw my Facebook. And I was very, very particular about who I let through as my friend on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so my friend requests would back up. I mean, 10 at a time I would usually let through. You know what I mean? I just kind of check them out. When I had time, I would peruse it and see. But I wasn't on there a whole lot, right? And so I saw him, and I'm like, when did you get through? How did you get? I don't recall this person. And when I saw him, it was a scripture that he had posted. And so I was like, when did this guy get through? Like, I don't remember letting him through, because I usually vet people first. And so I went to his page, and I'm like, oh my God, look, he's got like only 300 friends and scriptures, and he's sang in the choir, and,
Wow.
like pictures of the kids, just really wholesome, right? And so that's when I was liking different photos that I saw, not knowing that I'm in California. He's in Maryland, so there's a 3-hour difference. It's midnight my time, and it's 3 a.m. his time.
Oh, it's 3. That's right.
And it was like Sleepless in Seattle. If you remember that old movie,
Yes.
it was like the map with the arrow across, from the west to the east, or the east to the west. And so there you go, honey. Go ahead.
So
Tag
I stand corrected. It was 3 in the morning, and I get up. I used to get up at 5, so I go to the gym and all. And so that's why I said 5. But anyway, now I'm playing detective. I'm up, can't go back to sleep, and now I'm intrigued, and just doing my due diligence, and as far as being a detective and going through all the pictures, I started piecing things together, find out a little bit more about her through the pictures, and then I tried to Google some stuff, and long story short, I ended up writing this message. I was messaging her back, and when I was getting ready to hit the send button, and I said, "Whoa, it's 5 o'clock in the morning now," because by that time it was 5, right?
Right.
And I said, "Ooh," I said, "So hold on." So she's in Cali, in the Bay Area. So I'm like, okay, let me time this out. She got a young daughter, so she might have to take her to school, and then look like she's still working. So she'll probably get to work about this time, so I can catch her with this, by the time she gets ready to get in the car, right?
Don't you love it? Love it.
I was planning it all out. And
I mean, you really had it planned out. You thought this all the way through. We appreciate it.
Man of God.
I was being intentional.
That's what I was about to say. We appreciate every sentiment you did, sir. We appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I had was it 7 o'clock my time? No, 9 o'clock my time. No, 10 o'clock my time. That's right, because it would have been 7 hers. I had it timed perfectly, and I hit the send button, couldn't wait. And then every 5 minutes, I'm like checking, right, and see if she responded. And not too long afterwards, she responded, and the rest is history.
Oh my God, we were like 72 hours straight.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was. So that was on a Thursday. Friday. I'm sorry. Thursday night into Friday.
Right, from that,
and then
3 a.m.
And then
the weekend.
We stayed on the phone the whole weekend, chit chatting, and she used to call it cupcaking. But,
I haven't said that word in a long time. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
So that next day, that Saturday, I had to sing in a wedding, and we were, talking all the way till I got to the church there. And even when I got to the church, we were still talking on the phone.
And I had to be at a leadership meeting at my church. So we were both headed to our church early in the morning. I mean, we like just stayed on the phone, texting.
The whole night. You guys stayed on the phone the entire night.
All night, all day, pretty
Wow.
much.
Yeah, all the way till
I know.
I mean,
And one of my best friends, his birthday is the same day as hers, and we were him and I were we missed his birthday. I think their birthday was on a weeknight or something, and we were supposed to go.
It was a Friday.
Yeah, so we were supposed to go that weekend, go hang out and stuff. And he was calling me, and I was like, I said, dude, I can't make it, right?
Yeah, he was like, I'm not going.
So, but anyway, you want tag she is it now?
Yeah, this is cute. So my girlfriend at the time, a dear friend of mine, she and I, we were just hanging like this. And so I didn't talk to anybody that night. And so that morning I'm on my way to the conference, and she was the manager of the bookstore at the church. And so she called me, and so she's like, I called you last night. I was like, I met this guy. She's like, I leave you for 24 hours and you meet somebody. What do you meet? Who do you meet? So I was like, oh my God, I got to tell you about him. And so we're literally pulled up to the church outside of our cars on our cell phones, walking towards each other, but just so excited, just in it, walking towards each other on the phone. So I finally, we get to each other. So I'm like, listen, he told me to get this book. I said, you got to open the bookstore, because the church bookstore was closed because it was leadership on a Saturday morning. She's like, okay, we got to do it in the dark because we can't let them know this bookstore is open because we belong to a big church. So we go in there and we're in the dark, and she gets behind the counter and she gets on the computer. She's like, okay, it's just the glow of the computer. And she's like, what's the name of the book? And I'm like, I forgot. Don't say anything. I'm going to call him. So I call him. So he's like, hey, sweetie. I'm like, hey. And he was like, what's the name of that book? He was like, Kingdom Woman by Tony Evans. And so she's like, she's on the computer, and you can just hear the keys, right? And she's like, it's back ordered. So I was like, oh, it's back ordered, because he said, I want you to get Kingdom Woman because I have Kingdom Man. He said, okay. Well, what's your address? I'll send it to you. So I'm like, he's like, what's your address? I can have it there by Monday. What's your address? And she's looking at me. Her eyes are big in the dark. Right? So she's like, so I'm like, okay. So I give him my address because I'm thinking, no harm, no foul, right? You're not
right. Mm-hmm.
So I give him my address. He's like, okay,
that would be weird.
I just got it. It'll be there Monday. I was like, okay. I said, well, I got to get inside because she's starting to lose it. And so I'm like, okay, well, I got to get in the conference. So I was like, okay, well, have a good time at the wedding. We'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. And as soon as we hung up, she slammed her hand on it. She was like, that's your man. That's your man. And so needless to say, you want to take it? You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So then that evening we talked all evening. And so I had gone to another girlfriend's. Our kids would get together and we'd have sleepovers and stuff. So we went to her house, just lasagna and French bread and salad, like hanging out Saturday night. So I wasn't going to church the next day, but he did. So he hit me that morning after he got out of church, and he's like, I was dozing because we were up all night, right? And even my girlfriend was like, who's this guy? We were on the phone all night, right? So then he goes, I was dozing in church, and then they started to, you tell it. Go ahead.
So I'm in the choir stand and just like nodding out because I was so tired. She's been keeping me up for the past couple nights.
And that she been keeping me up. Don't I don't know what this is for. Who this is for. Fix it.
Anyway, so I'm in the choir stand nodding, and all of a sudden the pastor starts talking about Ephesians 5 and like around 5:20, and what that was what it is he was talking about marriage, and out of all things talking about marriage. And then the verse he went to, I knew it, right? Because again, I was looking for Proverbs 31, so I was looking at different things, and boom, right there, God, Jesus, the husband, the wife, and the children, right? The perfect alignment. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm up, and I couldn't wait to get out of there so I could call her and tell her guess what happened. So a couple days rolled by, and
no, wait.
Hold on, what?
You're missing.
Oh.
So anyway, he calls me that day after he gets out of church, and he says, this is what happened at church, blah, 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 blah. And so I said, That's it. I'm not doing this. I'm not getting catfish. I need to see you. I'm not doing this.
That's where I was going.
You said a couple of days. It wasn't a couple of days. It was the same day. So when did you act like you don't know the story? So anyway, so I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So he's like, okay, well, I'll come there. I said, no, I have girls. I can't come here. So he said, well, I'll send for you right now. Let's buy your ticket right now. So he called the airline. So very intentional.
So wait, you got flew out. He flew you out.
Yeah. So he calls the airline, but check this out. So the reservationist is just loving us because he's like, what day you want to come, baby? I'm like, I don't know. What day do you want, me? What do you want, honey? You know, we're just like, oh my God, you guys are so cute. So then she said, I need the last 4 of your social along with your information. So I'm like, oh, here's another tie. Okay, here we go again. And so I give her the last 4 of my social and he's percolating. He's like, oh my God, I got something to tell you. I got something to tell you. So we go ahead and book my ticket. We hang up with the woman and he calls me back and he says,
the last 3 digits of our social are matched. Same numbers.
Oh God. Okay. It's like y'all getting confirmation after confirmation. After confirmation.
That ain't the clincher. I'm waiting for the clincher. I'm waiting.
Oh, that's not it. Okay, let me be quiet.
Well, no, that's one of the, that's a clincher. So
no, there's a clincher. Yeah. There's like,
and actually we both forgot something. So back in when the first conversation we had, and we were talking, and actually we were texting on the messenger.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and remember I said I was looking for a Proverb 31, right? And had no idea she was the one. But while we were going, messaging back and forth,
the
first day, I said, here, let me give you my number, right? And then as soon as I hit the send button, I said, oh no, why did I do that? Why didn't I ask her for her number? And then before I could finish that thought, she had already replied and saying, no, as a Proverb 31, I prefer this. And she had given me her number. And I was like, as soon as I saw Proverb 31,
that was it.
That was it. Hook, line, and sinker.
That's why we were on the phone all night.
I said, God, thank you. Because I had even, just one lady at the church once before, she said, you be dating all these different women, bringing them in here and stuff. What's up? How come you ain't never asked me out? I said, well, I'm looking for a particular type of woman. And she said, well, what's that? And I said, a Proverb 31. And she said, Proverb 31, what's that? I said, if you don't know, you ain't it, right?
That is so cold-blooded.
But it was the truth.
I admire his truth. So many men don't do that now. They don't. They play with as many women as they can, and this is in the church. They play with as many women that they can. Oh, well, let me figure it out. Let me see what she does, what she don't do. He was very specific. He knew exactly what he wanted. He had his standards. He had his list. Exactly. That's a prepared man. Yep. That's a prepared man.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So we had several clinchers, as you call them. But once she came down, we had a great time. We had the whole weekend, and I had already had the whole weekend planned. And she likes to say this, but I'll tell it. Like even before she had come down, I was preparing for her at the home there, and she likes the fact that I was in the dairy aisle and saying, "Hey, what type of cream you want in your coffee?" And
yeah, he was so cute.
Oh my God!
So yeah, I was surprised she didn't mention that part.
Well, because we hadn't gotten to it yet, but you're doing great. Go ahead.
But anyway, yeah. So we had we played not played, but we had gone to this place. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name right now, but anyway, it was in Virginia, and they did cover acts, right? So there was someone like Tina Turner or Rick James, or whatever, but they sound exactly like them and everything. So we just had a blast, and the people we were sitting with at the table, they thought we were married and had been together for years, the way we were with each other and all. And then I introduced her to some friends of mine. The next night, we had a spade. I'm a big time spades player. So Yeah, y'all know nothing about that in Chicago, but anyway.
No, we know about it in Chicago. My only question is, are the deuces wild?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, we don't play
Joker,
like
Joker,
that.
Deuce. Joker,
We
Joker,
take
Deuce.
we
But y'all
take
don't
the
know how to
twos
play.
out and we keep the jokers in. Wow.
See? Yeah, Joker, Joker, Deuce.
So anyway, from there, then so a month to the day, what's about a month to the day, he comes to see me. And I remember my middle daughter, or our middle daughter now, she was like, I'm going to the airport. I'm like, come on. So we pick him up and we come back to my house and
No, I drove there the first time.
no, you didn't. You flew. Don't even.
No, I mean, no, I flew, but I drove your house.
No, you didn't. Sabrina and I picked you up with Josiah. Don't. So we pick him up and
It's been a long time ago.
Yeah, 7 years. So we get to my house and he was gonna stay in my oldest girl's room. I'd had it fixed up like the guest room because she was gone. She's gonna be 33 in June. She was gone. She wasn't there. So then we were in my room hanging out. And one of the things was we love music. Love music.
Mm.
We're music buffs. So we were in my room, just hanging out, listening to music. So, oh my God, all of a sudden he grabs me and he starts proposing. And I'm talking about like, oh my God, I'm just like, oh my God, it was so amazing and so romantic. And the bubble above my head is like, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening. Right? And I mean, I couldn't help it. I was just like, yes, because we were so close.
In tune.
We were so
You guys were so in sync and so in tune.
When we
wow.
met, here's the thing, sweetie. When we met, we bled on each other. Like when we talked on the phone, we told each other everything we had gone through. It's like, look, this is what I want. No harm, no foul. I don't care. I may never see you again, but I'm going to let it be known what I want. I'm interviewing you for the part, but it wasn't strategic in that sense. It was a real just
we were being vulnerable with each other.
We were vulnerable with each other, but we were also like, this is me. And it's like,
but there was like a trust. There was like already a form of trust already initiated, like on the first night, which allowed so much to flow through the rest of the month. Like it was like the first night with the best foundation. Where
we also exhibited the fruits of the spirit, and that's something you have to look for. And so we allowed each other a safe place to fall, and that's why we were so comfortable. So by the time he had come, I mean, by that time we were like, okay, we're staying up every night on the phone. We got work in the morning. We got to go to bed. I mean, because we were like literally we would talk 100 all night for like weeks, when he came. And so when he asked me to marry him, but it was by the time it got to that, we would have conversations like, so when we get married, like he would talk to me and say, so when we get married, we're probably going to move to Love. I mean, it was so just natural, but I didn't know he was going to propose then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when he did, I was like, yes. And so the next morning, he was like, he made breakfast because he cooks beautifully. So he made breakfast for all of us. And he was like, where's the jewelry store? And my daughter almost spit up her orange juice like, no. And I'm like, yeah. So we go to the jewelry store. And I was a single mom of 3 at the time.
Okay.
So I hadn't got paid yet. So he had told me to pick out a ring. So I picked out a ring. And I was like, I'm picking what I want. You know what I mean? And I did. And so I went next door to Victoria's Secrets because I didn't want to be around if his credit got denied. So I was in there like, just kind of walking around. And so I waited, enough time. I thought, this is a good enough time. They're going to look for me. I think I'm stealing something. So I walked out, went back over to the jewelry store, and he had already signed for it. It was already bagged up. He's like, baby, you want to put it on? I'm like, no, not right now, because I'm like tripping. I'm really tripping, right? I'm tripping. So, then I got home and I told the same girlfriend, and her husband was a minister. And so he was a very dear friend of mine, or ours, and he came over, and my husband made, at the time, my fiance made breakfast for him, and he did our premarital counseling right then and there. And he said, he's like, y'all got it. Y'all got this. You got it.
Wow. That was going to be one of my questions. Like, how did premarital counseling go? Like, how did they feel your vibe and your interaction?
He was asking us all the questions.
Wow.
You got this. So then it was like, what he was like, you want to go to Vegas? I was like, oh no, because I'd already,
Oh no.
and no. So I said, I will marry you at my kitchen island in my Uggs.
Mm.
And my girlfriend was like, let's have a meet and greet and do a surprise wedding for everybody. And so we got married in my home. Her husband married us. And he was our pastor's armor bearer. So he had given, as a minister, and signed our certificate. And we got married at my house. And he sang, Hey Girl, go ahead.
Hey Girl by the Temptations.
Yeah, because he sings in the choir, right? So he sang to me. I came down the stairs. We got married. He made, is it shrimp etouffee?
Yeah, shrimp etouffee.
Shrimp etouffee for everybody. It was candlelight, and it was my closest friends. And we played cards after that till about 4 a.m. And then the next day we went to church because it was Sunday, he and I and the kids. And he had to catch a flight back, so he had to leave during service. And I remember just bawling on my oldest girl's shoulder, just like, ooh. So then he came back for Christmas. And we had Christmas dinner we cooked for my family. And then he sent for me for New Year's. And then after that, we had a long distance marriage until May. And then I moved away to be with him. And we were in Maryland until September. And then we moved to Texas. And we've been here ever since.
August.
Yeah. In August, yeah. But this is the kicker. I have to show you this because this is so powerful. So remember I told you that I had called out to family members who had gone on to heaven? Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. I had called on my uncle, who was my favorite uncle, and his son. They had both lost their life within 3 months of each other. So it was a double whammy for our family, but it was very powerful because I called on both of them that day, my aunt and my grandfather. But check this out. Can you see? Tory looks like my uncle.
What? Literally. Literally.
So I really believe that he was like, God, you got to hook up my girl.
Oh, no.
I was like, Uncle Daryl, you know. You remember when I told you I was so upset and I was just like calling out? Yep. And I think that's why I never had any fear of getting on a plane to go see, because in my right mind, that's not a norm for me at all.
Right. That's not a norm for anyone. Exactly.
No online. No.
Another clincher.
Wow. So it was like in 1 month, you got an answered prayer, God's confirmation, family confirmation. I mean, everything was just like, it was like a snowball going down a hill. And it was just like, everything just was going and it was flowing. But it was the ease to it. It sounds like it was such an ease to it. Although things were moving fast, it was such an ease.
You ain't heard nothing yet.
What? Oh, this ain't it? Oh my God. Okay.
So that's the order of God. I mean, literally, it wasn't us. It was playing by itself. You know what I mean? It was like, we weren't at the wheel. It was Jesus at the wheel. And so when there's stuff like, be careful what you ask for, won't he do it? All of that is in effect, every single bit of it. Because my husband had prayed, we were both celibate. We also saved ourselves for one another in marriage. We saved ourselves.
That is.
We wanted to do it the right way. It was like, I've been through hell and back. So look, I'm going to do it God's way because I want to see, because he's not a liar. And we wanted to see. We were tired of being tired and we wanted the real deal. Mm-hmm. And ever since we surrendered to Christ, God has taken this thing and slammed it. I mean, it's just slam dunked. It's a home run. It's out the park and it's still going.
Yeah, most definitely. So when I said that you hadn't heard it, I don't know how long we have left here, but
I know we're just talking. Running our mouths.
We are fine.
So while we were in the midst of our dating, we were talking about what we wanted to do, right? And
that's all we talked about.
Yeah, and we both had come out of bad marriages, and what was going on was the fact that we were both looking for something different. We already knew what we didn't want in a marriage, and so we were like, we should do a marriage ministry. Right, so that's all we had the intentions on, is doing a marriage ministry.
That was the long and short of what our plan.
So as soon as we moved to Texas, we started the marriage ministry. We had already chosen a church pretty much prior to moving here. And then when we got here, we had already talked to the pastor and his first lady about starting the marriage ministry. So we started the marriage ministry, hit the ground running. the marriage ministry grew to the largest ministry in the church, right? And so from there, we went. How did it go from there? Oh, so from there, we started expanding. God told me, hey, I want you to take what you guys are doing in marriage ministry and put it on a Zoom and invite people to watch Zoom, right? Facebook, yeah. So we started doing the Zoom, and that was really working. And then I hear another word from God, telling us to do it on, back at the time, it was Facebook Live. So we were doing Facebook Live. We were getting, a lot of people tuning in, and we named Marriage Talk Tuesdays at the time.
Yeah, Marriage Talk Tuesdays at Tory and Teri.
Yeah, and then for Marriage Talk Tuesdays, we went to one radio station, and we had no idea. We were just going there to this pastor on the station, and we were just going there just to talk to him about helping us market what we were doing. And he was like, he said, well, we got a radio station here, why don't you guys have a show? So that was the start of us. So we started the show, Marriage Talk Tuesdays, and then on that radio station we were doing 2 radio stations. So that was internet, and then we had a terrestrial radio station, KYOK out of Houston. We were doing that, and then COVID hit, right? So it was so weird here in Texas, and actually we're not in Texas right now, but
where we live.
Our last show that Saturday that we did the show, then that Monday or so, that's when COVID hit, really bad, and they shut down the state, and everyone had to stay quarantined. So we were doing literally doing a radio show from our loft upstairs, and so we were doing both radio stations, Gospel Radio Nation and KYOK, and then I think
that August.
July.
Yeah,
July. That July. When I don't know if things got lifted, but something happened when I was at the grocery store, and then we got a call from this local television station, and they had been following us and they offered us a television show. So it's so funny that we had in our marketing efforts, because we were doing a marriage conference and some other things, and my wife had, we were coming up with different names and things like that, and she came up with this Love in Black, right? So we ended up calling it Love in Black with Tory and Teri. And what was unique about that is that the Black, and you mentioned in our bio, the Black in Love in Black is a financial metaphor for keeping your love in the positive. So,
like your finances, you want your money, like your money in the black. You want
Most companies want to always end in the black. Yep.
Wow. So we had 2 radio shows going simultaneously and a television show.
Yeah, and we were like, we can't. We were running from one to the other one, like just leaving there, change clothes, couldn't wear the same. Like, oh my God, this is so much, right?
I know.
It was a lot.
So for those Chicago clothiers that supply,
it's not clothiers.
What did I say?
Clothiers.
I make up words. I invent words.
He does. He will invent a word on you in a minute, girl.
But anyway, you guys looking to sponsor a big man? Hey, I'm your man. But anyway,
big and sexy.
Anyway, so from the television show. And then we just started, pretty much getting on. I'm gonna say globally, because literally we have clients in Germany and Africa.
Wow.
So we have clients across the country and overseas. So with our show, that's bringing that attention to us like that. So that's right now we're down to one radio show now. Because we had to take a break.
That's what we need.
Because we have our own private practice. So, clinicians during the day as therapists, and then, like you said, at night, the radio. So
well, not just the radio. When I say media person, I mean, we're invited to different events.
Well, we do red carpet
events, and hosting, and so we're part of a lot of different events that go on. So. And we've been on several shows, now yours included. But we've been
Which
on.
we're honored.
Yeah, we're definitely honored to
I
anywhere.
feel so special. This is such a great story, guys. This when I'm telling you when it was brought to me, and I'm like, in a month. That was the first thing I
He's
said. I was
stuck
like,
on
in a
30
month.
days.
I was like, what? Like this is like Married at First Sight almost in
I
a
know,
month.
and you know what? We've watched those shows and never even tripped off of it ourselves because it's just our story. You know what I mean? It's like it's your story, it's your family, it's your.
Yeah.
So when people started like, oh my God, it's like really, like you really think this is really, I mean, we never really tripped off of our story is just so
Exactly.
it's our life, you know. So yeah, then it's kind of like as we start telling it, like the whole Social Security thing, that was huge, like the Social Security card, and our numbers, but our Social Security number, the fact he looked like my uncle, like I didn't even when I first saw pictures of him, because of course we're sending each other selfies, and I never thought about my uncle until I don't even know how it came about. Oh, you know what it was? I sent the picture to my mother, and my mother said he looks like my brother. No, and then my aunt, who was married to him, she said, you married your uncle. Because when he had come for Christmas, he was like, they're staring at me, because he felt it. And then that same picture of my uncle was part of a family picture, that all of us were together, the whole family, but I had clipped it, just to do the side by side. So when we went home for Christmas at my grandmother's house, that portrait of all of us was hanging right by in the hallway near the restroom, a little Tudor home. And I was in the kitchen, so those kind of homes you can hear each other all through the house, little 2-bedroom. And he was going through the hallway, and I heard him go, "Whoa!" And I thought he saw the picture because he could feel himself in that. It was deep, girl. Oh, it was so deep.
Oh my goodness!
Because
Oh my
that
goodness!
picture hangs in our house. I mean, there's pictures of all of us all over the place.
It wasn't that one. It was like him playing softball or baseball or something.
It was one of his baseball pictures.
Yeah,
and my husband played baseball too, and my uncle played professional baseball.
Oh wow!
Crazy. I mean,
a lot of similarities.
All the people in the world. Are you kidding me right now? Like, in my closet, talking to God, mad.
But those type of prayers are the prayers that get that gets heard quickly and allow you to be seen because you're so pure. You're so raw. You're being honest. A lot of people have a lot of issues with being honest with themselves. So how could they even be honest with God? But to be that honest and to elaborate on your frustration, like, hey, okay, this is not working.
Yeah.
Wow.
So get you a prayer closet.
Yes, I have one, and now I'm gonna have to my foot down a little bit, not big, but just a little bit.
I just realized just now is that after that moment, because I do believe in, and there's so many layers to us, but I've mentored young women for a long time, and of course now I'm a therapist for women. But I always said, cry for 5 minutes and get a plan. You can cry for 5 minutes, but then you got to get a plan. And so literally, once I just left it on the floor, in my closet, I got dressed, went to work, and went on with my day. That's why that night, I wasn't even thinking, oh, could this guy be, it wasn't like, oh, could this, I wasn't even looking for it. I meant it when I said, I'm done, you'll have to come down. And I didn't expect God to come down. I was hoping not. I don't even think I could handle it. But in his way, he did, you know what I mean, as far as the heavenlies. And so I love the fact that all of it was very supernatural. All of it was very pure. And it was no hidden agendas. I didn't say, oh God, I'm sorry. I meant it. And I mean, he knows I love him, but I meant it. And God says you can come to him like that, and I trust your word. I'm standing on your word. Your word said.
But you casted your cares. And what you did was you cast your cares and you left it. Mm-hmm. You didn't go back and pick it back up. You left it there. You said, I'm done. And you said, I got up and went to work. Like, this is all on you. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. It's not going to happen if you don't do it.
I was at peace. When we were kids, I used to look at your finger in the lines, like, you're going to have this many kids. I was like, okay, I guess that's, I didn't ram my car. So, literally, I had to, what could you do? I had no control over it. I had to.
No.
But he'll do it. He has something for you. And when you surrender it to him, not putting anything on it. I mean, my husband is just as handsome as can be and a good man. I mean, I got the full bonus package. And so if I would have been putting restrictions on God, then I wouldn't have allowed God to move and do what he was going to do in the way he was going to do it. And so to all of you beauties out there, you lovelies, wait on him, baby. Just be honest with them and just tell him when you're tired, tell him what you need, and just be willing to go to Christ, just really with heart and hand, and let him do it. Let him do it. Let go and let him do it.
Yep.
Let go and let them do it. So did you guys family? They just fell into line with everything. There was no resistance. There was no you have to be careful. It just went.
Well, okay, so the daughters were like, something's wrong with her. I remember he and I were having a battle where we were sending music back and forth to each other, like, take that. I bet you don't know this song. I bet you don't know, because, like, again, we know music. And they were standing in my doorway, peeking in, like, she's lost her mind. There's something wrong with her. And so even my oldest girl, when he had proposed, called herself, wanted to have a sit down with them. Remember, she wanted to talk to you, like, she hasn't thought this through. He's like, we've thought this through. Your mother's fine. We'll be fine. But they, it was like, what do we do?
Well, actually, I had requested to sit down with them.
Oh, did you? Okay,
yeah,
that's right.
and I
just where I was.
Yeah, I made sure she was gone, and just wanted to talk to the three of them and let them know, more about me. Let them ask any questions they had, because one of the things that we teach blended families when we're doing counseling is that you have to date your significant other's children as well. Right. And when I say dating,
court them. Just
you have to court them just like you're courting their mother. And it actually goes both ways, because they have to get to know you, and they have some say so, and as far as what's going on as well. But we had that conversation, and they asked me whatever question they asked, and I told them all that they could come to me, and whatever they had to tell me, they didn't want to tell their mom. It was safe with me and whatnot. So I just let them be able to be, open, honest, and transparent with me, as I was with them.
I do want to add this, and this is like a bonus clip to this story that doesn't often get told, but it's the cutest thing. So when I flew to see him, right? Remember, this is almost like blind date, because we'd never seen each other in person.
Right.
So I'm on the flight, and I'm cool as a cucumber, because years ago I was a flight attendant. So taking a flight across is nothing for me, right? So I'm cool as can be. And then as we start to land, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm about to tell him, honey. So I'm getting like butterflies. So I tell these two little old ladies that are sitting next to me, because I had the window and they had the middle and the aisle. I'm like, because we've been talking the whole time, and I said nothing. So I was like, you know what, you guys, I gotta tell you something. I got a truth moment. I'm like, I'm about to meet this guy, and they're like, what? And so like, we're coming with you. We're coming with you.
Never see me again.
They were so cute. They were little old ladies. So they're walking through the airport with me. So I see him, and he's sitting in a chair, and he has a bouquet of flowers.
Oh,
so, like, that must be him. So then I go to baggage.
It must be.
I mean, because I know enough about it. I seen this picture, like, that's got to be him, right? So we see each other, of course, and, we greet each other. We're at baggage claim. And so I'm on one side of the carousel. They're on the other, and they're looking, and they're doing like a thumbs up. This is so cute, because he's like, hugging. I mean, it was really cute. We greet each other like we know each other, And it also made me, because he could. Nervous. I had been on the plane all day. He made me chicken coco van and brought dinner for me in Tupperware and a fork and stuff, so I can eat while we rode home from the airport.
No,
just so
lemon
cute.
Chicken piccata.
Oh, lemon chicken piccata. Forgive me. So
what did you say? Chicken coco
van was
what
something
the
I used
heck
to
is
serve as
that?
I associated
She's
with
making up dishes
No,
now.
chicken coco van was one of the meals United Airlines.
Okay. First time in life I ever heard that one.
Look it up.
I will.
This is good. I prefer yours over chicken. I like yours better.
All right. Yeah, I was just prepared, being intentional and all.
I mean, but I think that's really what both parties were prepared. Both parties were had already a checklist. Both parties had already did the hard work and the physical work and the emotional and mental work. Yeah. So when that person came, it was not a lot that had to be sorted out or worked out.
But you know what? We didn't really have a checklist. We didn't have a checklist.
That's why I said let God do what He's going to do. I was done, remember? So I didn't have a checklist or nothing.
So you was both parties were open. You guys were both open.
Yeah, like when she was saying like we bled on each other. I mean, we didn't need a checklist. We were talking, life.
Yeah, it's like this is what I've been through. Either you can take it or you can't. You got to be able to take it if you're gonna be with me because it's my story.
Yeah.
So either you can or you can't. I mean, no harm or foul. We lived across the country. It's like I don't have to. We never see you again.
Checklists don't work anyway. And what you really have to look out for is the fact that what if everything on your what if she matches everything on your checklist, right? However, what if you don't match anything on hers? So people don't think
that makes sense.
Yeah, people don't think about it like that. And they go after, I want this fine girl with the apple bottom butt and all this stuff, and 6 figures and everything. But then again, what if that person doesn't feel the same about them? What are you talking?
I was like, when you're like, fine, I'm like, so what you trying to say?
No,
I get you. You. I know. I'm talking about me. Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm just talking.
Saying.
I'm just talking to people.
I get what you're saying.
Because we have an audience, so I'm just letting them know.
And that's true because people do. You never know who your knight in shining armor is. Yeah. You may have this picture of, but
that's good.
God, one thing about God will give you what you need,
not what you want.
Exactly.
You need. Both of you, man and female. Mm-hmm. He'll give you what you need, and he'll start feeding them love languages with people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Start feeding them love languages with people. I love that. So when you guys counsel people, couples and individuals, and it's family therapy as well, correct? So you said is it just in your area? Is it globally, nationally?
Globally.
Could it anybody?
So so we're the certification that we have was national board certified, so we can pretty much counsel in every state
and country.
Wow. So before we even log off, you guys got to give your information because I know plenty of people are going to want to come and have a talk and a sit down with you because with me sitting down, I may have to contact your people one more time for my own. No, because I love it.
I'm going to share mine first just because we have so much as a team. Mine is Hello Lovely and it's AskTeriLynn.com. So all of my I counsel women and it's from a standpoint of just as far as just having a loving romantic competence in dealing with everyone and the love you have for yourself first. And so that self-esteem, sometimes you go through life, and life has experience that can really kind of almost take you under. And so I help revive those women as far as their light and their love. And so it's titled Hello Lovely. And that's my program for women. So it's Ask Teri Lynn, TeriLynn.com. Ask Teri Lynn.
And our counseling website page is iforeverwill.com. And actually, I had written on Love and Black. I put our email address on there for some reason, but I meant to say Love and Black with ToriandTeri.com is the website for our media, and iforeverwill.com is our website for counseling services.
Yeah, the clinician.
I'm going to actually put it and see if I have it right. Is that Ask Teri Lynn?
It's one R and it's
one R. Let me fix it.
LYNN. It's 2 N's in Lynn.
And how about that? Is that it?
That's it. That's one.
That's one. And then the other one was I Forever.
Mm-hmm. That's
there we go.
That's our relationship, marriage, family, individual website. Yes. And then
I love it.
Love in Black with ToriandTeri.com. That is media.
Let me put that in because I want everybody to be able to contact you guys.
Tory with a Y. TORY.
And that correct?
Space it together. Push it all together.
Because it's
it's all one word.
Because it's email.
Love and Black with ToriandTeri.com.
There we go. So now everybody can We get all your information up.
T-O-R-Y.
It's Tory.
I do keep putting an I.
Everybody trying to demand.
I want to give you an I. I want to give you an I so bad. But and with this, are you guys on Facebook? Are you guys on Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah, you can find us on social media at Love and Black with Tory and Terry.
And that's how they can make appointments.
Yeah.
And
now you forgot the why.
I sure did. I don't even. I can't type all.
It's on the screen.
I can't
look on the screen. look on
I
my
cannot
picture.
type at all.
Get it.
Okay. Let's see.
Yay!
I got it. There we go.
Let's see, but Terry has one R and an I, right?
Yes, that is correct. I got that one.
Thank you so much.
No, you guys were amazing. This story has really, really encouraged me to hold on. Because I think so many of my own sisters, I get so many emails and DMs like, I can't hold on no more. This is too much. Like, does this person even exist? And I'm like, yes, they exist. Have you found yours? No. But they exist. Like, it's like you got to keep holding on. It's like, and like you said earlier, if God said it, he's going to do it. He's not a man that he shall lie, nor the son of man that he shall repent. So it's hard to stand on no promises. But I love when you said, I left it in that prayer closet and I went on by my day. 5 minutes to cry, and I had a plan. I love it.
And so, we tell people all the time, well, I tell people, at any given time, it's about 7 or 8 billion people on this planet. And people try to find love like right in their neighborhood or at the job or something like that, right? It's so much more to life than you got to get out of your own backyard and see what's out there. We were 3,000 miles away. Didn't know each other, didn't have a clue about each other. 3,000 miles away.
And he looks like my uncle and he's got my social.
3,000 miles away. So like you said, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to throw away the checklist. You got to be open to what God wants to bring you. And you can't you can't put God in the box.
And when it happens, you have to be intentional.
But I have to put this disclaimer out there. Do not go hopping on planes. Be very, very careful. Use your discernment. And like I said, pray on it, because a lot of people have picked people that God did not send. And God will tell you, I didn't send him. You chose him on your own. So you make sure that it is God sent. That doesn't mean because he has green eyes, you got green eyes. Really, really, really seek the Lord on it and allow the Lord to answer you. Wait on the Lord.
Wait on the Lord. That's it. Wait on the Lord. And if you haven't gotten the answer yet, don't make a move.
Exactly.
You'll know when it's God. You'll know. Because it will feel
know.
like peace. There will be no hesitation, no fear, no nothing. No fear at all. You will know that it's God.
Wow. This is giving me a little bit more faith, some encouragement. I'm gonna hold on a little more. It's been a long journey. So sometimes you kind of feel like, well, maybe I could do it on my own. I could pick my own person. But tonight has really given me the strength to hold on and to wait on the Lord, to go back into my secret place and cast that care and leave it there.
That's right. And the last thing, I promise is the last thing.
You're fine.
Let a man be a man. Chivalry is not dead. Let a man be a man. This man was a man. He had a vision. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying. He had a vision. He laid it out. He shared it with me. Baby, this is what we're going to do. Once we move here, we'll get married. You move here. Then we'll move to Houston so I can be closer to my family. But he had a vision. He was from Houston. And so, he wanted to go back to be close to family members. But he had a vision and he told me how he was going to do it. And he did it. He kept his word. Word is everything.
I was just going to say that. The word is everything. Oh, my God. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on. It was an honor. I am completely blown away, encouraged. I'm ready to hold on and stand, knowing that it's going to happen, and be a little bit more open. Maybe I need to throw away my checklist. Stop trying to give God instructions and just take his instructions.
Yes. Let him do it. Girl, he'll surprise you. Think he won't?
I'm now. I'm gonna look. Now I'm in great expectation. See, now you done got to put some expectation in our bellies to be like, yes, I can do this.
Because
So yeah,
ain't enough room in the pot for your hand and God's hand. So when God see yours in there, He's like, okay, you know what you're doing.
She don't want me yet. She don't want my.
She know what she's doing.
So let her do hers till she come back to me and allow me to do what I do best.
That's it. Too many pots in it. Too many hands in the pot.
Yep, that's right.
Hands in the pot.
Too many hands in the pot. Now that I'm gonna stand on. Too many hands in the pot. They gonna like, tell you what you're doing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Just waiting.
Just wait. Waiting definitely means taking my hand out the pot. All right. Now I know what my journal piece gonna be on tonight when I'm journaling.
There you go.
There we go. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It was such an honor, and I was blessed by your story, encouraged by your story. Thank you for sharing all your links and how to get in contact with you. I am so sure people are going to be thrilled to get in contact with somebody who actually is doing it. We hear about it all the time, and you never even have access to people that has done it, where you can get the steps and know the instructions, how to build yourself, how to become whole, how to take the proper steps to first work on you before getting into marriage.
Oh,
so
we talk about that all the time. Yes.
Oh, yes. I am just thrilled that there is a Black couple in love with this type of story, a fairy tale story. That's what I want to call it, a fairy tale story.
It is
with a fairy tale story, and it's real. And then you guys been together for 7+ years. Like, that is great. You would hear people say, "Oh, they got married in 6 months, and then in another 6 months is done." But it lets me know that this thing is still real. Covenant is still a real thing. God honors marriage, and godly principles still work, and it has great results. And everything you guys have accomplished is just nothing short of remarkable. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you
for having us. God. Bless you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
All glory goes to God.
Thank you. Well, my loves, thank you so much for joining us. As usual, I am praying with you and for you. Bye.
No more chains holding me. I got up out that dark place. Stop worrying about what everybody else say, 'cause they don't know my story, can't see my pain. If they did, then they would love me just the same. I shine, you shine, we shine together. That's how it was meant to be. No shade, it's all love.